The music in the biker bar was loud enough to rattle the old neon signs, but even that wasn't enough to drown out the thundering heartbeat inside her chest. Maya had walked into dangerous places before. She had seen the darker corners of cities most people only heard about in rumors, but nothing compared to the suffocating tension that wrapped around her lungs the moment she stepped inside Iron Serpent's territory. She could feel dozens of eyes tracking her every step, cold, suspicious, unforgiving. And she knew, somewhere deep inside, that one wrong move could cost her everything. The moment the biggest man in the room grabbed her by the shoulders and tore her shirt open, time froze. But it wasn't her exposed skin that shocked the room, it was the tattoo inked just above her heart, sharp, symbolic, unmistakable. If you believe in the ripple of love, in how a single brave act can shift the entire world, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support helps these stories reach hearts that need them. The tattoo seemed to burn under the dim bar lights, not out of shame but out of the weight it carried. It was her father's emblem, the insignia of a once respected Marine who had disappeared years ago under mysterious circumstances. Maya had spent half her life searching for answers while clinging to the fading memory of the man who had taught her strength, courage, and compassion before fate ripped him away. The Marine eagle, globe, and anchor etched into her skin wasn't simply ink, it was her purpose, her protection, her promise. And now, standing in a circle of hardened bikers who went silent the moment they recognized it, she felt a mix of terror and determination that almost made her knees give out. Maya had come to this bar with a single mission, to confront the outlaw biker group rumored to have information about her father's last known movements. She knew it was reckless. She knew the Iron Serpents were feared even by other biker clubs. But she also knew that after years of dead ends, this was her only chance. The moment she tried to ask questions, one of the leaders grabbed her, furious at the audacity of a lone woman walking into their world. Shouting erupted, boots shuffled, leather creaked, but then the tattoo was revealed, ripping through the chaos like a siren. Suddenly, every movement stopped as if the air itself had turned to stone. In the midst of the silence, Maya's heartbeat roared in her ears as she held her torn shirt with trembling fingers. She tried to steady her breathing, but fear coiled around her ribs, threatening to suffocate her. Yet beneath that fear was something immovable, a flame that had guided her through years of searching, through nights of grief, through a lifetime of unanswered questions. She stood there in the center of the room, exposed but unbroken, staring into the eyes of the very people who might hold the truth she'd been chasing since she was a child. The biker who had ripped her shirt stood frozen, jaw clenched, his grip loosening as he stared at the emblem on her chest like it was a ghost from a past he had tried to bury. Behind him, the man circled in red in her mind, broad-shouldered, scarred, and strangely familiar, took a step forward, his expression shifting from hostility to something unreadable. Maya felt his gaze cut right through her, weighing her soul, judging her intentions. She could sense the shift in the air, from aggression to shock, from threat to something much deeper. She didn't know why the emblem affected them this way, but she understood that she had just stepped onto ground charged with history and secrets far larger than she imagined. As the seconds stretched on, flashes of her past raced through her mind, the warm smell of her father's uniform, the sound of his laughter, the promise he once made to her to always come home. The pain of that broken promise had shaped her entire life. She had survived foster homes, homelessness, and heartbreak, all while clinging to the belief that she deserved to know the truth. She had become resilient because life had given her no other choice. And now, in this dim, smoke-filled bar, that resilience was the only thing keeping her standing. A murmur rose among the bikers, confusion mixed with something like respect. Maya took advantage of their uncertainty and lifted her chin, willing her voice not to shake. She explained why she was there, how her father had vanished, how she had traced the trail all the way to them. Her words weren't loud, but they carried. The men around her listened more intently than she ever expected. Something inside them shifted, a crack in the armor of hardened criminals, an old memory stirred awake. The man with the scar, clearly someone of authority, stepped closer and looked at her fully for the first time. In his eyes she saw something she never expected to see in a bar full of outlaws: remorse. It was faint, buried under years of rough living, but it was real. Her father had meant something to him. Something important. Maya felt a tremor of hope break through her fear. Maybe she was finally standing in the one place where the truth had lived all along. He motioned for everyone to lower their tensions, and slowly, the air in the bar softened. What followed was an emotional unraveling Maya never prepared for. The scarred man explained that her father had once saved the lives of several iron serpents during a violent crossfire years ago. They owed him not just respect, but a debt they could never repay. But her father had disappeared shortly after the incident, and no one knew why. Maya listened with tears burning behind her eyes as the truth she'd long chased finally echoed through the room. The silence wasn't fear. It wasn't anger. It was honor. And for the first time in years, Maya felt something inside her loosen, as if the weight she had carried for so long finally began to lift. She wasn't alone. Her father hadn't been forgotten. His courage had left ripples, even in the hearts of men society called dangerous. Her tattoo wasn't a sign of naive loyalty, it was a living reminder of the love and bravery that had shaped her life. She realized that sometimes answers come from the most unexpected places. Sometimes the people society fears the most are the very ones carrying the stories that can heal us. And sometimes, the heart finds truth in the unlikeliest corners of the world. The serpents offered to show her the last place they had seen her father, promising to help her finish the journey she had started alone. And though fear still lingered, hope finally outweighed it. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support helps these emotional stories reach others who may need them.